Good morning, everyone, and fantastic to have you all here. I know from the journey we've been on with Hort Connections to go from what last year was, I think, a really good start, seeing the growth we've got this year is fantastic. I want to talk to you a bit about PMA. PMA's been running for around about 10 years now, and when I look back to when it was launched, it was founded by a group of visionary people who had access to the global PMA network. They'd seen the benefits that this network had brought to themselves and their businesses, their teams. And I dared to ask the question about what if we set this up in Australia and New Zealand? Now, I know that a number of those people are here today, and they've been on the journey since the beginning, some longer, from their involvement with PMA. This group set us off on a journey to connect, inform and deliver industry solutions to enhance our members' prosperity. Bringing together people has always been part of this vision, so look, I hope that when they see how many people are here today talking about floral and fruit and veg, that they'd be pleased with that. I don't think that they would have thought that I'd be here sharing a story about Justin Timberlake, though. The one-time Masketeer, singer/actor, and his over 50 million Instagram followers. Justin invented the raspberry. A blueberry stuffed in a raspberry. Now, through an Instagram post in late 2017, he shared, "Is it a coincidence that the blueberry fits in the raspberry perfectly? I think not. Raspberry." This story grabbed some media attention, spawned a hashtag, a flavoured iced tea, and of course the fresh produce industry got involved with Driscoll's creating some package ready to go, hand-picked, hand-stuffed raspberries. The initial releases were mainly for promotional purposes, but I understand they intend to put out a DIY raspberry kit later this year. And for those paying attention, you would have seen in your, the Perfection had one there and the yogurt on the table in front of us at breakfast. Now, if you haven't tried them, give them a go. They're delicious. My kids love them, and they're a good fun thing to play with. But I think beyond the hype and the celebrity of this story, I love it because it's a great snapshot of what's possible in fresh produce. Justin's 50 million Instagram followers saw some, a few snaps of raspberry online, and they saw some morning TV shots. But I see something bigger. I see all the skill and the work that went into the produce that makes the idea possible. To make this story or product possible, we needed innovation, marketing, science and talent. We needed plant breeders, farmers, food safety practitioners, logistics providers, chefs, retailers and processors, just to name a few. All out there doing their part in getting the produce from the paddock to the plate. If the raspberry story is a duck, then the fresh produce industry is a very fast set of legs under the water. At the end of the day, produce needs to be delicious and nutritious when it gets to you, me, or any one of the other billions of consumers out there. The same goes for floral, creating appealing products that bring joy to the senses, warmth to relationships, and ambience to homes and workplaces. There are, however, a number of higher-level challenges that the fresh produce and floral industry in Australia and New Zealand will continue to face in the coming years. Health, labour, sustainability, and the discussion around waste and production that we're themed this conference around. A big part of this discussion on the challenges are being had by the billions of consumers out there, face-to-face on social media. We've heard that from Chris earlier, and it's really evident, again, with all our devices, that we're all probably part of that. Much of this discussion for the consumer comes back to key questions, centred around themes like trust and choice. It may not always be well-informed, but it will impact your business. Questions like how and where was it produced? Is it good for me? Will it make me healthier? Is it delicious? When you look at the number of conversations that consumers are having on food, the numbers can be overwhelming. Social media and TV are bursting with content on food, both good and bad. And we've got to remember that this is happening whether we want it to or not. So how can we influence this debate in a positive way? We can't control the discussions, but we can work on developing industry systems and communications and talent that will enable us to meet the needs and wants of the consumer. PMA ANZ has always had a strong focus on the need for industry to control its own destiny in this space, and it can be done. A key consumer message has to be around authenticity and provenance. Many consumers don't care. They're driven by price, regardless of other factors, but more and more consumers do care. They associate transparency with safety and traceability. So while our effort and investment in QA has additional benefits, it's not the only approach. If you check out the finalists for this year's Marketer of the Year award, you'll see a group of companies that have gone on the front foot and put their own message together to put forward products that are desirable to the consumer. To keep this focus on the commercial outcomes, at PMA we filter every decision through one question. Does it give our members and their supply chain partners access to the people and ideas that make a positive difference in their business? This filter says yes to supporting industry-specific training like our Produce Development Program, our Produce Executive Program, investigating disruptive technologies like blockchain, connecting students to industry, creating communities for our members to share ideas and expertise, and bringing in people from outside of industry to share more ideas and skills, and investing in food safety initiatives like the Fresh Produce Safety Centre. So back to where I started, and to what the instigators of PMA ANZ would think about today. I hope they think that we've captured the spirit and intent of their vision and built a space for the entire Australian New Zealand fresh produce industry, not just our members, to come together and connect with the people and ideas that will make their opportunities bigger and their problems smaller. We collectively thank those leaders for planting the seed that has grown to PMA into what we have today. Now, about 18 months ago, and look, I started my role about the time that sort of the idea of Hort Connections was born, and we named the event rather pragmatically. Initially, it didn't quite set right, but it really has grown on me. And now I'd like to think it fits in around with a saying along the lines of success grows where connections flourish. Again, have a great conference, everyone. I'm going to sit down and join the conversation, and I hope you all enjoy that and take some learnings away from it. Thank you.
Thanks, Darren.